The story of one courageous college student who died trying to protect his loved ones from thieves. It's the nightmare scenario for drivers, criminals targeting you while you're in your car. But there are ways to protect yourself.
It was an act of heroism with a tragic ending. College sophomore Bobby Christman was parked outside a nightclub with his little brother and his friend Jen when the unimaginable happened.
He was just a great kid. Everybody that knew him loved him.
An attacker forcing open the back door of their car, grabbing his friend Jen's purse. Bobby, sitting in the front passenger seat, tried to protect her and intervened. That's when the suspect shot Bobby in the head. Tonight, police still looking for Bobby's killer as his family mourns his loss.
Bobby's the bravest. He has the most courage. He's fearless. He's the hero.
His friend Jen lovingly praises Bobby as her guardian angel, saying, "I love him so much for everything he did for me and Sean that night."
It's unfortunate that this case ended like this.
Yet veteran detectives like Joe Giacalone say while his actions were indeed courageous, we can all learn lessons from the tragic outcome.
Dying for property is never the way to go. I mean, let it go and replace it.
After 20 years with the NYPD, Joe says he's learned most of us don't realize how vulnerable we are while approaching our cars, whether the crooks are after our wallets or the car itself. Almost 700,000 cars were stolen in 2013. That's roughly one car every 45 seconds.
Anybody could be hiding for you.
Right.
So Joe agreed to show us ways to be smart and stay alert.
So what common mistakes do people make as they're walking, like back from shopping?
Just right now, you have both hands full. You don't have a way
That's bad?
That's bad. Well, you don't even have a way to defend yourself if you had to, at least if you had one hand available.
Right.
Or at the very least, you have your keys in your other hand, ready to enter your car.
Right, because I'm always fumbling for my keys.
Right, which is bad, especially if it's at nighttime or it's in a dark area. You're fumbling for your keys, you're not paying attention to what's going on around you, and someone can easily come up from behind you and attack you.
Surprisingly, your cell phone might be your biggest enemy.
The phone is probably going to be the biggest distraction that people have, and it's probably be the #1 reason why people become victims of crimes.
Joe warns that someone with their eyes constantly on their phone might accidentally get between a carjacker and their target.
As the technology has gotten better, cars are less likely to be stolen, especially your high-end cars. And those are the ones that thieves are targeting. So if they can't steal it while they're sitting in the parking lot, they're going to take it when it's running.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
And so is there a big market for these high-end cars?
Sure, especially overseas. And even if they're keeping it here, they're going to chop shops because the parts are worth more than the car itself.
Grand theft auto can have deadly consequences. Dustin Friedland was murdered in front of his wife while in a parking lot of the Short Hills Mall in New Jersey just days before Christmas 2013. Targeted, say investigators, because he was driving a Range Rover. Surveillance tape revealing Friedland's alleged killers may have scouted the mall, hunting for the right car and the right victim.
Well, they were looking for a specific target. They were looking for a car that they wanted. Well, at this place, it probably was a Range Rover.
Right there, you can see the suspect's dark SUV 3 days before the carjacking, cruising the mall's parking lot. Watch as it follows this white Range Rover right past the entrance. And then, on the night Dustin Friedland was killed, notice that same SUV lurking in the lot before driving to the Friedland's car. Minutes later, that SUV speeding off with the Friedland's stolen Range Rover right behind it.
This was a group of guys. This wasn't just one individual. This is what, you have to be mindful of. I mean, they're going in 3s and 4s.
But it's not just people who drive snazzy cars who are at risk. Turns out the most stolen cars are not luxury vehicles. Number 1, the practical Honda Accord, then the humble Civic, followed by Chevys and Ford's full-size pickups. But no matter how fancy your ride, you can always protect yourself by thinking about the safest place to park your car.
You try to find a spot closest to the doors. You look for where there's a lot of light. So, there's spots here on our right, on our left, and if possible, what they call combat parking.
What's that?
Combat parking is where you, just like you see these row of cars here, they back into the spot. So it's difficult, if you're especially in an emergency, to drive backwards if you had to.
But being aware of your surroundings might not be enough. Just last week, this woman, Kristen, who only wanted her first name used, was robbed at gunpoint in Arlington, Texas, while going to the drive-up ATM. The carjacker forced her into her own trunk.
He was like, give me the money. After he pulled out his gun, he told me to get in the trunk.
They were robbed at the Wells Fargo ATM
were put in the vehicle, in the trunk of their own vehicle.
Her attack also captured on surveillance tape. Police say the suspect, right there, looking directly at this security camera, drove off, driving around for several hours with Kristen trapped in the trunk.
I thought maybe I have a chance of getting out of here. So I found the unlock for the trunk from the inside. I popped it up.
Luckily now, because of things that have happened like this in the past, manufacturers have made it easier for the person to get out of the trunk.
Really?
Years ago, the cars, when you got into a trunk, there was no way of getting out.
Right.
Now there's levers inside. If you get stuck inside, all you have to do is move it, and, and it even glows in the dark.
Oh, wow.
Kristen managed to open her trunk and escape. And Joe says the next time you head to the ATM, don't be paranoid, just be prepared.
Have your ATM card ready. You take it out ahead of time. Pull up as close as you can to the ATM machine, because this also prevents somebody from being able to come in and slide in between you. Put your card in, you're ready to go, and use your rearview mirror. Make sure nobody is walking up to you.
Another tip, always leave your car in drive. Just keep your foot on the brake.
Now you're getting ready to get the money. It's telling you it's coming. Take the money, put it on the side. Now here's when you're most vulnerable, because now the guy who's waiting for you is knowing you're ready to go. But you still have to retrieve your ATM card because it's still in the machine.
Oh, that's
Take
a bummer.
it, put your foot off the gas, make sure you don't hit anybody who's walking, and you are gone.
Once you're out on the road, remember, carjacking is a crime of opportunity, and criminals sometimes create those opportunities in order to grab your car with its engine on. And if you're parked along the road, inventive crooks have been known to use a trick that Joe shows us, using a $20 bill placed strategically on your windshield.
Some unsuspecting person, they sit in their car, they're normally not looking up. They start their car, they're doing their thing, maybe putting their seatbelt on, and they go, "What's that?" And that looks like money. So they go, "All right, well, oh, geez, money." So now the car's running, mind you.
Yeah.
Now they go like this to go get the money off the windshield wiper, and by the time it takes them to do that, they're already inside your car
And gone.
driving away.
That's incredible.
And then what most people try to do is get in the way, and that's how you get run over.
All of which just goes to show being a safe driver involves a lot more than just buckling up.